Hey there! Great to be digging into some vocabulary today.
Absolutely. Today, we're diving deep into advanced C1 level English vocabulary, specifically words starting with the letter M.
Yeah, there are some really useful ones in this group.
Our aim isn't just definitions, right?
Yeah.
We want to give you a more nuanced understanding, help you express complex ideas, and really get a handle on sophisticated English.
Exactly. Context and usage are key at this level.
Okay, let's kick things off with machinery. Now, on the surface, it's about machines, equipment.
Right. Machines collectively. Think factories, industrial processes. That's the basic idea. It's usually uncountable, too.
But it gets more interesting, doesn't it? The metaphorical use.
Oh, definitely. We often use machinery to talk about complex systems like the machinery of government or the machinery of the legal system.
So it implies intricate, interconnected parts working together, even for abstract things.
Precisely. You might hear about investing in new machinery for a factory that's literal, but then understanding the decision-making machinery within a company that's using the metaphor. It highlights structure and process.
Got it. Okay, let's move to something a bit more. Well, magical.
Ah, magical. Obviously related to magic, illusions.
But also that enchanting, extraordinary quality, right? It packs an emotional punch.
It really does. It's fantastic for descriptive language, you know, a magical sunset or the magical atmosphere of the old city. It evokes wonder.
Yeah, or like her voice had a magical quality. It tells you it was exceptionally captivating.
Exactly. Great for storytelling, making things sound extraordinary.
Next up, magnetic. Again, there's a literal sense.
Yeah, the physics sense, properties of a magnet, magnetic fields, disrupting electronics, that kind of thing.
But we use it metaphorically all the time for people, don't we?
We do. Someone with a magnetic personality just draws people in. It implies a powerful, almost irresistible attraction or charisma.
So it works for technical descriptions and describing, say, a captivating performance or a persuasive speaker.
That versatility is what makes it so useful across different domains.
Okay, how about magnitude? Sounds quite formal.
It is often used in more formal or scientific contexts, yeah. It refers to great size or extent or importance. Scale, basically.
Like the magnitude of an earthquake or the magnitude of a star's brightness.
Exactly, those scientific uses.
Yeah.
But also the magnitude of the challenge or the magnitude of the decision's impact. It helps us grasp the sheer scale or significance of something.
Understood. Now, mainland seems straightforward geographically.
It generally is. It's the main part of a country or continent, excluding the islands or, separate territories.
So distinguishing the core landmass.
Right. You might talk about shipping goods from the mainland to an island or comparing life on the mainland versus the islands. It provides that geographical distinction.
Okay. And mainstream. We hear this one a lot, especially talking about culture.
We do. It can be a noun or an adjective. It refers to the dominant trends, ideas, or groups. What's considered conventional or widely accepted.
So mainstream music is the popular stuff everyone knows.
Pretty much. But there's often a subtle layer to it. Saying something isn't mainstream might imply it's more niche or avant-garde.
And calling something mainstream could, maybe, sometimes hint it's not very original.
It can carry that slight connotation, yeah, like the idea eventually became mainstream, suggesting it started out more radical. Or a film with mainstream appeal, meaning it's broadly popular.
Interesting nuance. Let's talk about maintenance.
Ah, maintenance. Crucial concept. It's the process of keeping something in good condition. Regular care, repairs.
Like car maintenance or building maintenance.
Exactly. But it's not just physical things. You can talk about the maintenance of peace or the maintenance of good communication in a relationship, sustaining things.
Right. So it applies to tangible assets and tangible ones. It's usually uncountable too, right? We need to perform maintenance.
Correct. It's about the ongoing process.
Okay, mandate. This feels quite strong. Official.
It does. It can be a noun, an official order, or the authority to do something, often political, like a government receiving a mandate from voters.
Or it can be a verb, to make something required.
Yes. The law mandates that all buildings meet safety standards. It means to officially require something. It's common in legal and formal settings.
Which leads nicely into mandatory, the adjective form.
Precisely. If something is mandatory, it's required. Compulsory, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Like mandatory training at work or mandatory recycling laws?
Exactly. It signals a strong obligation, often set by rules or laws, something you must do.
Okay. Manifest. This one seems to have a few different hats.
It does. It can be a verb meaning to show or demonstrate something clearly, like stress manifesting as headaches.
Okay, so something hidden becoming visible or apparent.
Right. Or it can be an adjective meaning obvious or clear. His relief was manifest. You can see it plainly.
And the noun, something about lists.
Yes, a manifest is a list of cargo or passengers on a ship or plane. Quite a specific technical meaning there.
So quite versatile. Verb, adjective, noun. Formal context mostly.
Generally, yes. You'll see it in more formal writing or literary contexts or those technical uses like the cargo list.
Let's tackle manipulate. This one often feels negative.
It often does, yeah. The primary meaning is to control or influence someone or something cleverly, maybe deceptively, manipulating the data to support a point.
So unfair influence.
That's the common negative sense. But it can also mean to handle or control something skillfully without deception, like a sculptor manipulating clay.
Ah, okay. So context is really key here. Skillful handling versus devious control.
Absolutely crucial. Think about manipulating complex machinery, that's skill, versus manipulating someone's emotions, that's usually negative.
And the noun form, manipulation. Does that usually carry the negative sense?
Often, yes, especially in social or political contexts, media manipulation or emotional manipulation. But again, you could talk about the manipulation of variables in a scientific experiment, which is neutral, or the artistic manipulation of materials.
Good distinction. Okay, manuscript. Sounds literary.
It is. A manuscript is a document written by hand or typed, but specifically, it usually refers to an author's original text before it gets published.
Like submitting your manuscript to a publisher.
Exactly that. Or finding ancient manuscripts in a library. It implies the original, maybe unedited version of a written work. Carries a bit of historical weight too.
All right, march. Seems simple enough. Walking.
Well, yes, walking steadily, often in a group, like soldiers marching, that's the verb. And the noun can be that organized walk, like a protest march.
But it's also the month, obviously.
Yeah.
And we use it figuratively too, right?
We do. The march of time or the march of progress, it suggests steady forward movement or progression.
So literal walking, group action, time, and progress. Quite a range.
It covers a lot of ground, so to speak.
Okay, marginal. What does this imply?
Marginal usually relates to an edge or a border. Figuratively, it means minor, insignificant, or only just barely sufficient.
Like marginal profits being very small.
Exactly. Or marginal notes written in the margin of a page. Or someone making only a marginal contribution, a very small one.
So on the edge, or just barely meeting a standard.
That's the core idea. It often suggests something isn't central or is only minimally adequate.
Next, marine. Two main uses here.
Yes, as an adjective, it means relating to the sea. Marine biology, marine ecosystem, all about the ocean.
And the noun.
The noun marine typically refers to a soldier trained for combat on both sea and land, like the U.S. Marine Corps. Two distinct meanings.
Good to keep those separate. How about marketplace?
Well, traditionally it's a physical place, right? A market square where people buy and sell goods.
Like a farmer's market.
Yes, but today we use it much more broadly to mean the whole commercial environment or industry, the global marketplace, the online marketplace.
So it's evolved from a physical spot to an abstract concept of where trade happens.
Absolutely. It represents the whole arena of buying and selling, physical or virtual.
Okay. Mask. Noun and a verb.
Right. The noun is a face covering, obviously, for protection, disguise, or performance. Surgical masks, masquerade masks.
And the verb. To hide something.
Exactly. To mask something is to conceal it. You can mask your feelings or try to mask a problem, hiding the reality.
So physical covering and emotional or factual concealment.
Both uses are very common.
Now a heavier word. Massacre.
Yes, a very strong, very negative word. As a noun, it's the brutal killing of a large number of people, often defenseless ones.
And the verb is to commit such an act.
Correct. It's used in contexts of war, atrocities, extreme violence. It carries immense emotional weight and signifies horror.
Understood. Moving to something less grim. Mathematical.
Related to mathematics, obviously. Mathematical equations, mathematical skills.
But does it have a broader sense too?
Yes, we sometimes use it metaphorically to describe something done with great precision or logic, like mathematical precision in an argument, for example.
Suggesting it's very exact, very logical.
That's the idea. Borrowing that quality from mathematics itself.
Okay. Mature. Adjective and verb.
Right. As an adjective, it means fully grown or developed, physically, like mature fruit, or emotionally and intellectually, like a mature response to a problem.
So not just age, but development.
Exactly. And the verb to mature means to become mature, to develop over time. Wine matures, people mature, ideas mature.
Covers quite a few stages of development.
Nice.
How about maximize?
Maximize with an S in British English, Z in American means to make something as great or large or effective as possible.
Getting the most out of something.
That's it. Businesses want to maximize profits. Students want to maximize their study time. It's about optimization, reaching the fullest potential or highest level.
Right. And meaningful.
Adjective, having real significance, purpose, or value. Something that matters deeply.
Not superficial.
No, a meaningful relationship, meaningful work, a meaningful conversation. It implies depth, importance, emotional or intellectual substance.
That makes sense. Meantime.
Yeah.
How do we use this?
It refers to the time between two events. You can use it as a noun. In the meantime, let's focus on this. Or as an adverb, similar to meanwhile. The results aren't ready yet. Meantime, we'll continue the analysis.
So it bridges a gap in time. Slightly formal.
A little, perhaps, very common in writing as a transition.
Okay. Medieval. History, obviously.
Yes, relating to the Middle Ages, medieval history, medieval architecture.
But we use it figuratively too, don't we? Often critically.
We do. Calling something medieval can mean it's brutally old-fashioned or outdated. His attitude seems positively medieval. It contrasts sharply with modern times.
Got it. Now, meditation seems quite current.
Very much so. It's the practice of focusing your mind, often for relaxation, mindfulness, or spiritual reasons.
Like mindfulness meditation or transcendental meditation.
Exactly. Guided meditation, silent meditation. It's become a big part of wellness culture for stress reduction, improving focus, and so on.
Okay. Melody. Musical term.
Primarily, yes. A melody is the tune of a piece of music, the sequence of notes that you'd hum.
The main tune you remember.
Right.
Yeah.
But we can also use it more broadly for any pleasant sequence of sounds, like the melody of birdsong, or even describe a pleasant speaking voice as having a melody. It implies a pleasing, tuneful quality.
Nice. Memo. Short for something.
Yes, short for memorandum. It's basically a short written note or message, almost always used in a business or professional setting.
Internal communication.
Typically, yes. Quick updates, reminders, policy changes. Send out a memo about the meeting change. Formal but practical.
Okay. And memoir. Different from an autobiography.
Generally, yes. A memoir is also a written account of personal experiences, but it often focuses on a specific period, theme, or series of events in the author's life, rather than their whole life story. More focused, often more reflective.
So personal reflections on a particular time or experience.
That's a good way to think about it. Requires honesty and often a lot of reflection.
Memorial. Noun and adjective again.
Yes. As a noun, it's something created to remember a person or event. A statue, a building, a plaque. A war memorial.
A physical reminder.
Often, yes. Or it could be an event, like a memorial service. As an adjective, it means serving to commemorate. A memorial lecture. It's all about preserving memory, often in a solemn way.
Okay. Mentor. Someone who guides you.
Exactly. A mentor is an experienced person who advises and guides someone less experienced. A trusted counselor.
And you can use it as a verb, too, to mentor someone.
You can. She mentors young entrepreneurs. It's about providing that guidance and support, usually in a professional or educational setting. Hugely valuable.
Definitely. Merchant. Sounds a bit old-fashioned.
It can have historical connotations like spice merchants from centuries ago, but it simply means a person or company involved in wholesale trade, buying and selling goods, often internationally.
So traders, essentially.
Yes. Still used today, especially in contexts of trade and commerce. Online merchants, for instance.
Got it. Mercy. Compassion.
Yes, compassion or forgiveness shown to someone who could be punished or harmed. A judge showing mercy, asking for mercy.
But it has another sense, too. Like good fortune.
It does. It was a mercy the storm passed quickly. Meaning it was a fortunate thing, a relief from potential suffering. So both compassion and fortunate relief.
Okay. Mere. How does this little word work?
It's an adjective used for emphasis. It stresses how small or insignificant something is, or that it's only what's stated.
Like it's a mere suggestion, meaning just a suggestion, nothing more.
Exactly. Or, he won by a mere 2 votes, emphasizing how small the margin was. It often downplays, but can also highlight the smallness itself.
And merely is the adverb form.
Right, meaning only or just. I was merely trying to help. It clarifies or restricts the scope of the action or statement. Formal, precise.
Okay. Merge. To combine.
Yes. To combine or blend to form a single entity, two companies can merge. Lanes of traffic merge. Ideas can merge.
So coming together into one.
That's the core idea, a process of unification.
Which leads to merger. The noun. Mostly for business.
Primarily, yes. A merger is the act of merging, especially when talking about companies combining. The proposed merger between the two banks. A big deal in the business world.
Makes sense. Merit. Quality or worth.
Yes, as a noun, merit is the quality of being particularly good or worthy. The plan has considerable merit.
And the verb. To deserve.
Correct. To merit something means to deserve it, usually something good like praise or reward. Her achievements merit recognition. It's about deservingness based on quality or actions.
Okay. Methodology. Sounds academic.
It often is used in academic or research contexts, yes. It refers to the system of methods used in a particular field of study or activity, the approach.
So not just the methods themselves, but the system or theory behind them.
Exactly. The overall strategy or framework for conducting research or carrying out a complex task. A research methodology. Very important for structured work.
Midst. Feels a bit literary.
It can be, yeah. It means the middle part or point. Most often used in the phrase in the midst of, meaning surrounded by or in the middle of something happening.
Like in the midst of chaos or in the midst of celebrations?
Precisely. It places you right inside a situation, often one that's quite intense or busy.
Okay. Migration. Movement of people or animals.
Both. It's the seasonal movement of animals, like bird migration, and it's the movement of people to a new area or country, often seeking better conditions. Human migration.
So a key term in biology, geography, sociology.
Absolutely. Covers both natural and human patterns of movement, often on a large scale.
Militant. This sounds strong, maybe aggressive.
It does usually imply being aggressively active and supportive of a political or social cause. A militant activist or group might use forceful or confrontational methods, often has a negative connotation.
So beyond just being passionate, it suggests a certain aggression in promoting a cause.
That's generally the implication, yes. Uncompromising, sometimes combative.
And militia. Related.
Related in the sense of military-style organization, but different. A militia is a military force raised from the civilian population, supplementing a regular army or acting in an emergency, not professional soldiers.
Like a citizen army?
Sort of, yes. Often for local defense or in situations where a regular army isn't present or sufficient. Context is very important here.
Okay. Mill. Like a factory.
Traditionally, yes. A building with machinery for grinding grain, a flour mill, or processing materials like cotton, a textile mill. The verb is to grind or process in such a place.
But there's the other meaning too. The rumor mill.
Ah, yes. Figuratively, a mill can be a place or process that produces something rapidly and often carelessly, like rumors or gossip. A very useful idiom.
Got it. Minimal, meaning the least possible.
Exactly. The very smallest amount or degree. Minimal effort, minimal risk, minimal disruption. Often implies efficiency or simplicity, like minimalist design.
So just the bare necessary amount.
That's the idea. Reducing things to the essentials.
And minimize is the verb form. To reduce.
Yes. To reduce something, especially something undesirable, to the smallest possible level. Minimize costs, minimize errors, minimize environmental impact.
Can it also mean to downplay something?
It can. To minimize a problem might mean to treat it as less serious than it actually is. So both reduction and downplaying.
Okay. Mining. Extracting things.
Yes, literally extracting minerals like coal or gold from the earth. Coal mining.
But there's a digital version now too, right?
Absolutely. Data mining. Extracting valuable information or patterns from large data sets. And cryptocurrency mining. So extraction, both physical and digital.
Interesting parallel. Ministry.
Yeah.
Government department.
Often, yes. A government department headed by a minister. The Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Finance.
But it can also be religious.
It can. It can refer to the work or office of a religious minister or a charitable organization doing work inspired by religious principles. A homeless ministry, for example. So, governmental and religious charitable contexts.
Okay. Minute. This
Yeah.
one's tricky. 2 pronunciations.
Crucial distinction. Pronounced menogis, it's an adjective meaning incredibly small or detailed. Minute particles, minute examination.
Tiny.
Very tiny. But pronounced mono, it's the noun. 60 seconds. Or, importantly, the official written record of a meeting, the minutes.
Ah, the meeting minutes. Got to get the pronunciation right there.
Definitely changes the meaning completely.
Miracle. Something amazing.
Yes. An extraordinary and welcome event that seems impossible, not explainable by natural or scientific laws, often has religious connotations.
But we use them more casually, too.
We do. For any remarkable or very welcome achievement or piece of luck, it's a miracle the team won. It's a miracle the car still runs, expresses amazement and good fortune.
Okay. Misery. Sounds awful.
It describes a state of great suffering, unhappiness, or distress, physical or mental. The misery of war, the misery of deep poverty, the misery of profound grief. A very strong word for suffering.
Misleading. Giving the wrong idea.
Exactly. Likely to deceive or give a false impression. Misleading statistics, misleading advertising, a misleading statement. It implies inaccuracy designed or likely to fool someone.
So, actively deceptive or just accidentally confusing?
Could be either, but the result is that it leads someone to a wrong conclusion. Critical word for evaluating information.
Missile. Weapon.
Primarily, yes.
Yeah.
A weapon, like a rocket, that's propelled towards a target. Serious military context.
Any other use? Metaphorical.
Sometimes used metaphorically for something moving extremely fast. The ball flew past him like a missile, but the primary meaning is the weapon.
Mob. A crowd.
A specific kind of crowd, large, disorderly, often angry or violent. It has very negative connotations, an angry mob.
And it can be a verb. To mob someone.
Yes, meaning for a crowd to surround someone in a disorderly, often overwhelming way, like fans mobbing a celebrity, usually implies uncontrolled, intense group behavior.
Okay. Mobile. Able to move.
Yes, the adjective means able to move or be moved freely and easily. Mobile troops, a mobile library.
And the noun. Phones and art.
Right, a mobile phone, obviously. And also that type of hanging sculpture with parts that move in the breeze, often seen over cribs.
So movement and technology.
In art. Yes.
Mobility, the ability to move.
Yes, physical mobility, the ability to move your body, lack of mobility due to injury, for instance.
But also social movement.
Correct. Social mobility or economic mobility, the ability to change your position within society, usually moving upwards in terms of class or income. So physical and societal movement.
And mobilize. To get things moving.
In a way, yes. To organize and prepare resources, people, troops, supplies for action or use. Often implies urgency or a collective effort.
Like mobilizing for war. Or mobilizing volunteers after a disaster.
Exactly. Bringing everything together for a specific active purpose.
Moderate. In the middle.
Yes, as an adjective, it means average, medium, not extreme. Moderate temperatures, moderate views.
And the verb, to make less extreme.
Yes, to moderate something means to make it less intense or extreme. Or it means to preside over a discussion or debate, keeping it balanced and orderly. Like a moderator.
So keeping things in the middle or controlling the flow.
Balance and control are key ideas there.
Modification. A change.
Exactly. The act of making a change to something or the change itself often implies an alteration or adjustment, maybe an improvement.
Like genetic modification or car modification.
Precisely. Or modifications to a plan usually implies a deliberate change.
Module. A section or part.
Yes, a self-contained unit or component that's part of a larger system, like learning modules in a course or modules in software design, or even parts of a spacecraft.
Breaking things down into manageable pieces.
That's the concept. Standardized, interchangeable parts of a bigger whole.
Momentum. Physics term.
It is, yes, the quantity of motion of a moving body. Force or energy of movement.
But we use it figuratively all the time.
Constantly. The momentum of a campaign, a team, or a project refers to the force or speed of its progress. Gaining momentum, losing momentum. It's about the impetus driving something forward.
Okay. Monk? Religious figure.
Yes, a man who belongs to a religious order and lives in a monastery, usually under vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, dedicated to a spiritual life.
Specific religious context there.
Very specific, yes. Associated with various religions like Buddhism and Christianity.
Monopoly. One company controls everything.
In economics, yes. Exclusive control over the supply or trade in a commodity or service, often viewed negatively as it stifles competition.
And the board game, of course.
And the famous board game, which simulates exactly that.
Okay. Morality. Right and wrong.
Exactly. Principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior, a person's moral code, or the morality of an action. Philosophical, ethical territory.
Complex stuff.
Deeply complex, often debated.
Motive. The reason why.
Yes, the reason or intention behind an action, why someone does something. Crucial in law establishing a motive for a crime. Also in understanding everyday behavior.
The driving force behind an action.
That's it, what prompted it.
Municipal. Relating to local government.
Correct. Relating to a city or town and its governing body. Municipal elections, municipal services like libraries, parks, municipal bonds, local government level.
Okay, last one for today. Mutual. Shared.
Yes. Held in common by two or more parties. Or reciprocal done or felt by each towards the other.
Like mutual respect or a mutual agreement.
Exactly. Mutual understanding, mutual benefit. It implies sharing and reciprocity between the parties involved. Essential for relationships and cooperation.
Wow, we've certainly covered a lot of ground with these M words. Quite a workout.
We really have some very useful and nuanced vocabulary there at the C1 level.
Hopefully this deep dive has really expanded your lexical resources and maybe sparked a bit more appreciation for the subtleties of advanced English.
Yeah, the key is thinking about how you can start using these words, how they fit into your own communication.
Try to integrate them into your speaking and writing. It really does add clarity and sophistication.
Definitely. Practice makes perfect, as they say.
Well, if you found this exploration helpful, please do give us a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more language learning content.
We'd appreciate that. See you next time. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here again to really crack open some complex topics and give you the insights you need.
That's right.
Today, it's a linguistic adventure. We're zeroing in on C1 level English vocabulary, specifically words starting with M.
Yep, and we're not just, listing definition.
No way.
The mission here is to get under the skin of these words.
Yeah.
We want to help you achieve a truly nuanced understanding.
So you can express those complex ideas with, well, real clarity and sophistication.
Exactly. Because at this C1 level, context, subtle usage, it's not just key. It's pretty much everything.
And we've dug into a really comprehensive vocabulary resource for this one. Expect some surprising insights and definitely practical ways you can use these words.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's get started. We'll unpack these M words, beginning with some that describe systems, impact, and those unseen forces.
Sounds good.
First up, machinery. Now, most people probably think, gears, factories, like that literal sense, machines, equipment.
Indeed, that's the literal side. A collection of machines, usually uncountable as a term. But what's really fascinating, and where it definitely leaps into C1 territory, is how we use it metaphorically.
Ah, yes. That's where it gets really interesting, isn't it? We talk about the machinery of government, or maybe the legal system's machinery. What's that metaphor actually telling us?
Well, when we use machinery for abstract things, it highlights a complex system, interconnected.
Okay.
It implies all these parts working together, often in a way that feels a bit impersonal, maybe even, unwieldy.
Unwieldy, yeah. Like the decision-making machinery within a company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It suggests a structured process, sure, but it also kind of hints at something that might be slow, maybe difficult to change, like a big industrial machine almost.
Right. It's not just interconnected. It implies this system that kind of runs itself, where individual people might feel a bit small.
Precisely. Self-perpetuating system almost.
That's a great way to think about it. Okay, from potentially unwieldy systems, let's shift to something with more emotional punch. Magical. Beyond literal spells and illusions, how does this word work in everyday language?
Oh, it's fantastic for descriptive language, isn't it?
Yeah.
It evokes this sense of enchantment, something extraordinary. Well, a magical sunset. It's not literally magic, but it feels transporting, doesn't it? Or the magical atmosphere of an old city, it just pulls you in. Or imagine someone saying, her voice had a magical quality. What they mean is it was incredibly captivating, almost otherworldly. It's all about evoking wonder, that unexpected delight. Really useful for storytelling.
And sticking with that idea of attraction, we have magnetic. Now, obviously, there's the physics sense.
Right. Magnets, magnetic fields, messing with electronics, that sort of thing.
But how do we use it for people?
Well, beyond the science, its most common metaphorical use is definitely for people. Someone with this powerful, almost irresistible pull, you know, charisma.
A magnetic personality.
Exactly. Someone who just effortlessly draws others in.
Yeah.
Could be a captivating performer, a really persuasive speaker. It's about that inherent pulling power, like a physical magnet, but, in the human realm. Connection, influence.
That's a good transition. From powerful influences, let's talk about words that help us grasp scale, convention, and upkeep. Let's start with magnitude. It sounds quite formal.
It does, yeah. Magnitude often pops up in formal or scientific contexts. It refers to great size or extent or importance.
Like earthquakes.
Right, the magnitude of an earthquake or a star's brightness, its magnitude. But it's not just about physical measurement.
So it can describe the sheer scale of something or its significance, like a challenge or an impact.
Exactly that. Understanding the magnitude of the challenge we're facing, or thinking about the magnitude of a decision's impact on, say, people's lives. It forces you to really grapple with the sheer scale, the full significance of something, weighing its implications.
Okay. Mainland. This one seems pretty straightforward, geographically speaking.
It generally is, yes. It's the main landmass of a country or a continent separate from islands or other territories.
So you use it to distinguish.
Yeah, to distinguish the core landmass, like shipping goods from the mainland to an island, or comparing life on the mainland versus the islands. It's basically a geographical anchor point.
And speaking of what's core or central,
Right.
let's move to mainstream. This often describes what's central in culture or ideas, right?
That's a great link. Yeah, as a noun or adjective, mainstream refers to dominant trends, ideas, groups, what's widely accepted, like mainstream music.
But there's a nuance there, isn't there? Especially for C1 learners.
Definitely. Here's the thing. While mainstream means broad appeal, saying something is not mainstream implies it's, niche, avant-garde maybe.
Right.
And sometimes calling something mainstream can carry this subtle little hint that maybe it's not very original or even a bit commercially watered down. It's a word you hear a lot in cultural criticism.
That subtle judgment is key. Okay. Maintenance. We think cars, buildings.
Naturally. The physical sense is keeping something in good condition. Regular care, repairs, car maintenance, building maintenance, usually uncountable. But then there are the intangible things.
Like maintaining peace or good communication in a relationship. Is that kind of maintenance more active than just preventing breakdown?
Precisely. It implies a continuous active effort. The maintenance of peace isn't passive. It takes constant diplomatic work.
Right.
And the maintenance of good communication, well, that means actively listening, engaging, working at it. So it applies to physical assets and abstract concepts, always suggesting consistent care and upkeep.
Okay, good distinction. Let's shift gears to words conveying command, obligation, and maybe manifestation, starting with mandate. Feel strong, official, often political.
Absolutely. As a noun, a mandate is an official order, or it's the authority to do something, very often political, like a government getting a mandate from voters to enact a policy.
And as a verb.
As a verb, it means to officially require something.
Like, the law mandates that all buildings meet safety standards.
Exactly that. You'll find it a lot in legal contexts, formal settings. And that leads us straight to mandatory, the adjective.
If something's mandatory.
It's required. Compulsory. It signals a strong obligation, usually set by rules or laws. Think mandatory training at work or mandatory recycling laws. No choice involved.
Okay. Manifest. This word seems to, manifest itself in different ways.
It does. Nice one. As a verb, it means to show something or demonstrate it clearly. For instance, stress manifesting as headaches. Something internal, maybe hidden, becomes undeniably visible.
As an adjective.
It just means obvious or clear. His relief was manifest on his face. It's about something becoming really apparent, undeniable.
Right.
Oh, and there's also the technical noun, the list of cargo or passengers on a ship or plane. But the verb and adjective forms are much more common, often in formal or even literary contexts. They often imply this sort of unavoidable revelation.
From things becoming obvious, let's explore manipulate. This one often feels negative, suggesting deception.
It frequently does, yeah. The primary meaning, often negative, is controlling or influencing someone or something cleverly, often deceptively.
Example.
Like manipulating data to support your point, or, more personally, manipulating someone's emotions. It really implies unfair or cunning influence.
But there's a neutral sense too, right? Like an artist or an engineer.
Absolutely. In a neutral way, it just means handling or controlling something skillfully without any deception. A sculptor manipulating clay is just working the material.
Or manipulating complex machinery.
Exactly. That just requires skill. So context is everything here. And the noun manipulation follows the same pattern. Often negative in social or political talk, media manipulation, but neutral in science, like manipulation of variables in an experiment or art. It really boils down to the intent behind the control.
Okay, intent is key. Speaking of creation, manuscript. Always makes me think of old documents or authors hunched over desks.
That's the core idea. A manuscript is a document, maybe handwritten, maybe typed, specifically an author's original text before it's published.
Like submitting your manuscript to a publisher.
Precisely. Or finding ancient manuscripts in a library archive. It carries this sense of being original, maybe unedited yet, often with a historical or literary weight to it.
And then there's March. We know the walk, the month. But it implies a certain kind of progression, too.
Yes. Literally, it's walking steadily, often in a group, soldiers marching, a protest march. And yes, it's the month. But figuratively, it suggests this unstoppable, steady forward movement, progression.
Be like the march of time.
Exactly, or the march of progress.
Yeah.
It evokes this sense of a relentless, almost inevitable advance forward.
That leads us nicely into words about boundaries, oceans, and the sort of ebb and flow of commerce, starting with marginal.
Marginal. Literally, it relates to an edge or a border. Think notes in the margin of a page. Figuratively, it means minor, insignificant, or only just barely sufficient. We talk about marginal profits, very small ones, or a marginal contribution, not very important. The core idea is being on the edge, minimally adequate, not central. It suggests something isn't quite enough to be really impactful.
And marine. Two very distinct meanings here, which could trip you up.
Indeed. As an adjective, it's all about the sea. Marine biology, marine ecosystem. Simple enough.
But as a noun.
As a noun, it's a soldier trained for combat on both sea and land, like the U.S. Marine Corps. Two completely different fields, same word. Got to rely on context.
How about marketplace? That word seems to have evolved quite a bit.
It really has. Traditionally, yeah, it's a physical place. A market square where people buy and sell stuff, a farmer's market, maybe.
But now,
But today, we use it much more broadly, much more abstractly. It means the whole commercial environment or industry, the global marketplace, the online marketplace. It really reflects how trade has shifted from being tied to a physical spot to this huge abstract concept shaping economies, even our daily clicks.
from the vast marketplace to something maybe more personal. Mask. Both a noun and a verb.
Right. Noun. A face covering. For protection, disguise, performance, surgical masks, masquerade masks. Pretty clear.
And the verb.
To mask something means to hide it, conceal it. You can mask your feelings to seem okay, or maybe mask a problem hoping it goes away. It covers both the physical covering and that deeper act of hiding emotions or facts, often with an intention maybe to deceive, maybe just to protect yourself.
Now a much heavier word. Massacre. Carries immense weight, this one.
It does. A massacre, the noun, is the brutal killing of a large number of people, often defenseless people. The verb to massacre is to commit that act.
It's a very strong word.
Extremely strong, profoundly negative, reserved for contexts of war, atrocities, extreme violence. It really speaks to a terrible loss of humanity.
Okay, moving to something less grim. Mathematical. Obviously it relates to math, equations, but how else do we use it? To convey precision.
Exactly. Beyond literal math, when we describe, say, an argument as having mathematical precision, we're not just saying it's precise. We're implying this almost irrefutable logical consistency, maybe even a bit cold or abstract sometimes.
Like there's no room for doubt.
Pretty much. It suggests an exactitude that leaves little room for doubt, or maybe emotion. Think mathematical certainty. It implies an absolute, undeniable truth. It can be powerful, but maybe a bit alienating too.
That's a really good insight. Okay, let's consider words around development, optimization, and significance. Mature. It's not just about getting older, is it?
Not at all. As an adjective, mature means fully grown or developed. Physically, like mature fruit, but also emotionally or intellectually, like a mature response to a tough situation.
And the verb to mature.
It means to become mature, to develop over time. Wine matures, people mature, ideas can mature. It really speaks to a process, an evolution towards a more complete or sophisticated state.
And to maximize something.
That's all about making something as great or large or effective as possible, getting the absolute most out of it.
Like in business.
Yeah, businesses want to maximize profits. Students want to maximize study time. It's about strategic optimization, reaching the fullest potential, aiming for that peak performance or output.
And meaningful. This feels like it pushes back against superficiality.
It absolutely does. Meaningful describes something that has real significance, purpose, value, something that genuinely matters, deeply.
Examples.
A meaningful relationship isn't just casual, it has depth, importance. Meaningful work contributes to something bigger than just you. It always implies substance, emotional, intellectual, practical, setting it apart from things that are trivial or superficial.
Let's consider our lures tied to time, tradition, and reflection. Meantime seems like a useful bridge.
It's a great temporal connector, yeah. It refers to the time between two events. You can use it as a noun. In the meantime, let's focus on this task.
Or as an adverb.
Right. The results aren't ready yet. Meantime, we'll keep working on the presentation. It just smoothly bridges that gap in time.
Yeah.
Very common in speaking and writing as a transition.
Medieval. We know medieval history, castles. But it gets used quite differently sometimes, doesn't it? Critically.
Yes, exactly. Literally, it's about the Middle Ages, medieval history, medieval architecture. But colloquially, and often with a critical edge, we use it to mean brutally old-fashioned, outdated.
So if you say someone's attitude is positively medieval,
You're highlighting a really sharp, usually negative contrast with modern times, suggesting a lack of enlightenment, maybe, or progress. It's definitely not a compliment in that context.
meditation seems very much part of the current conversation, wellness and all that.
Very much so. It's the practice of focusing your mind, often for relaxation, mindfulness, sometimes spiritual reasons. Mindfulness meditation, especially, has become a really popular tool for stress reduction, improving focus, fully part of contemporary wellness culture now.
And melody. Primarily musical, the tune.
Yes, the tune of a piece of music, the sequence of notes you'd hum, the part you remember.
But it can be broader.
It can. You might talk about the melody of birdsong, meaning that pleasant sequence of sounds, or even describe someone's pleasant speaking voice as having a melody. It implies this pleasing, tuneful, often harmonious quality.
From tunefulness, let's switch to communication, remembrance, and guidance, starting with memo, short for memorandum, right?
Correct. A memo is just a short written note or message, almost always in a business or professional setting, though.
For internal stuff.
Typically, yes, internal communication, quick updates, reminders, policy changes, designed for efficiency within an organization. Less formal than a full report, usually.
And memoir, how's that different from, say, a full autobiography?
That's a really good distinction to make. A memoir is a written account of personal experiences, yes, but it usually focuses on a specific period or a theme or a series of events in the author's life, not their whole life story from birth to, now.
So it's more focused.
More focused, yeah. Often more reflective. It gives you a slice of life rather than the whole chronological sweep.
Memorial, noun and adjective. Its role seems to be preserving memory.
Exactly. As a noun, a memorial is something created to remember a person or an event. A statue, a building, a plaque, a war memorial. It could also be an event, like a memorial service.
And that adjective?
As an adjective, it just means serving to commemorate, like a memorial lecture. It's all about creating a tangible or sometimes intangible way to honor and preserve memory. Often quite solemn, often collective.
And a mentor is someone who guides you, helps you along.
Precisely. A mentor is an experienced person who advises and guides someone less experienced, a trusted counselor.
Usually professional.
Typically a supportive relationship, often long-term, usually in the professional or educational context, yeah? And you can use it as a verb, too. To mentor someone is to provide that guidance and support. Often, the best mentoring relationships end up being mutually beneficial.
Speaking of professional roles, merchant sounds a bit old-fashioned, maybe. Spice routes and all that.
It does have those historical echoes, doesn't it? But it's still very current. Today, it just refers to a person or a company involved in wholesale trade, buying and selling goods, often internationally.
Like online merchants.
Exactly. Online merchants, merchant banks. Essentially, they're traders, people or companies facilitating commerce.
And mercy, compassion, forgiveness.
Yes, that's the core meaning. Compassion or forgiveness shown to someone who could be punished or harmed, like a judge showing mercy when sentencing.
But there's another sense.
There is. It could also mean just a fortunate thing, a relief from potential suffering. If you say, it was a mercy the storm passed quickly, you mean it was a stroke of good luck, a reprieve.
Yeah.
It speaks to leniency or just unexpected relief from something bad.
How about those small but really impactful words? Mere or merely. How do they add emphasis?
They're great for subtle emphasis. Mere, the adjective, stresses how small or insignificant something is, or that it's only what's stated.
Like a mere suggestion.
Right, meaning it's minor. Or they won by a mere 2 votes, highlighting how narrow the margin was. It often downplays, but paradoxically, by doing that, it actually highlights the smallness or perceived insignificance.
Then merely.
Merely is the adverb form. It just means only or just. I was merely trying to help. It clarifies or restricts the scope of what you were doing. They're fantastic for adding a subtle rhetorical touch.
Fascinating how tiny words pack a punch. Okay, let's look at combination, worth, and system. To merge, combine things.
Yes, to combine or blend so they form a single entity. Two companies can merge, lanes of traffic merge, even abstract things like ideas can merge into a new concept. The core idea is always unification.
And the noun is merger.
That's right, the act of merging, especially common in business talk, the proposed merger between the two banks.
Merit. This implies quality or worthiness.
It does. As a noun, merit is that quality of being particularly good or worthy. The plan has considerable merit. Means it's got clear advantages, it's a good plan.
And the verb to merit.
To merit something means to deserve it. Usually something good, like praise or reward. Her achievements merit recognition. It's all about deservingness based on quality or actions or inherent value.
And methodology. Sounds quite academic, that one.
It often is heard in academic or research settings, yeah. It refers to the system of methods used in a particular field or activity, the overall approach.
So not just the methods themselves.
Not just the individual methods, no, but the systematic framework, maybe the theory behind them. When you talk about a research methodology, you're describing the whole systematic strategy guiding the investigation, the how and why of the chosen methods.
Let's delve into position, movement, and force, starting with midst. Feels a bit, literary, maybe.
It can sound a little formal or literary, yeah. It means the middle part or point. Most often, though, you hear it in the phrase in the midst of, meaning surrounded by or right in the middle of something happening.
Like in the midst of chaos.
Exactly, or in the midst of celebrations. It really vividly places you right inside a situation, often one that's intense or busy.
Migration. That's about movement, often large scale.
Both animal and human, yes.
Okay.
It's the seasonal movement of animals, bird migration, and also the movement of people to a new area or country, human migration. It's a really key term in biology, geography, sociology. Always implies large-scale movement, displacement, or journey.
Militant. Sounds quite strong, often aggressive, perhaps.
It does tend to. It usually implies being aggressively active and very supportive of a political or social cause. A militant activist or a militant group might use forceful, maybe confrontational methods. It often carries a negative connotation, suggesting an aggression that goes beyond just passion or strong conviction.
And militia. Related, but different.
Related through the military connection, yes. A militia is a military force, but one raised from the civilian population. It's meant to supplement a regular army or maybe act in an emergency.
So not professional soldiers.
Generally not. They're essentially a citizen army, often focused on local defense. The context, their purpose, who they're loyal to is really important with this word.
Okay, let's consider production, reduction, and extraction. Mill, like a factory. Or grinding grain.
Traditionally, yes. A building with machinery for grinding grain, a flour mill, or processing other materials like a textile mill. And the verb is to grind or process.
But there's a figurative use.
There's a great figurative use.
Yeah.
The rumor mill, which describes a place or maybe just a process that churns out something, in this case, gossip, unverified info rapidly and often carelessly. It's a really vivid idiom.
Minimal suggests the least possible amount.
Correct. The very smallest amount or degree, the least possible. Minimal effort on a task, minimal risk in an investment. It often implies efficiency, maybe simplicity.
And minimize is the verb.
Right. To reduce something, especially something undesirable, to the smallest possible level. Minimize costs, minimize errors, minimize environmental impact. It could also mean to downplay something, making it seem less serious or important than it actually is.
Mining. Extracting things from the earth.
Literally, yes.
Right.
Extracting minerals, coal mining, gold mining, standard definition.
But now we talk about data mining.
Exactly. In the digital age, we see this powerful parallel. Data mining is extracting valuable information or patterns from huge data sets. And then there's cryptocurrency mining. It highlights that shared concept, extracting value from a larger source, whether it's physical rock or digital data.
Moving towards the end now, let's look at organization, scale, and emotion. Ministry, government department.
Often, yes. A government department headed by a minister. The Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance. Common structure in many countries.
But it has another meaning too, religious.
It does. It can refer to the work or the office of a religious minister. Or sometimes a charitable organization doing work inspired by religious principles, like a homeless ministry. So it spans both governmental and religious spheres.
Okay, this one's a classic trap. Two pronunciations, totally different meanings.
Absolutely crucial distinction at this level. Pronounced my note It's an adjective. It means incredibly small or incredibly detailed.
Like minute particles.
Exactly. Or a minute examination, one that catches every tiny detail.
Okay.
But pronounced mi-nit, it's the noun. 60 seconds.
Right.
And also importantly, mi-nit is also the official written record of a meeting. The meeting minutes. The pronunciation completely changes the meaning. Context and careful listening are key.
Miracle. Something amazing, impossible almost.
Yes, fundamentally, an extraordinary and welcome event that seems impossible. Not explainable by natural or scientific laws, often has religious connotations.
But we use it more casually, too.
All the time. For any remarkable or very welcome achievement or just a piece of good luck, it's a miracle the team won, or it's a miracle my old car still runs. It just expresses astonishment and great fortune.
Misery. Sounds like deep suffering.
It is. Misery describes a state of great suffering, unhappiness, distress. It can be physical or mental. Think the misery of war, the misery of deep poverty or profound grief. It's a very strong word, conveying a deep, enduring state of suffering.
And misleading. This feels critical for how we evaluate information today.
Absolutely. Misleading means likely to deceive or give a false impression. Misleading statistics, misleading advertising, a misleading statement. It implies inaccuracy, whether intentional or not. That's likely to fool someone, lead them to the wrong conclusion. A vital word for critical thinking.
Okay, nearly there. Let's consider impact, group behavior, and mobility. Missile. Primarily a weapon.
Yes, usually a weapon like a rocket propelled towards a target.
Metaphorical use.
Sometimes, yeah. For something moving extremely fast and powerfully, the ball flew past him like a missile, just for speed and force.
Mob. A crowd, but a specific type. Usually negative.
Yes, a large, disorderly crowd, often angry or violent. It definitely carries negative connotations. Suggests uncontrolled, volatile behavior, like an angry mob.
And it can be a verb.
It can. For a crowd to surround someone in a disorderly, often overwhelming way, like fans mobbing a celebrity, it speaks to that intense, often overwhelming group action. It can feel quite threatening.
And then the related family. Mobile, mobility, and mobilize.
Right. Mobile, the adjective. Able to move or be moved freely, easily. Mobile troops, a mobile library.
Noun mobile.
A mobile phone, obviously.
Yeah.
Or that type of hanging sculpture with parts that move. Then mobility, the noun. Physical ability to move, lack of mobility after an injury, or social economic movement within society. Social mobility.
Then mobilize.
Mobilize, the verb, means to organize and prepare resources, people, troops, supplies for action or use. Often implies urgency or a big collective effort, like mobilizing for war or volunteers mobilizing after a disaster. It's about getting everything ready for action, often quickly.
Let's tackle balance, change, and components. Moderate. Suggest something in the middle, not extreme.
Indeed. As an adjective, moderate means average, medium, not extreme. Moderate temperatures, moderate political views.
And the verb to moderate.
Two main senses here: to make something less intense or extreme, or to preside over a discussion, keeping it balanced and orderly like a moderator at a debate. The key ideas are always balance, control, finding that middle ground.
Modification. A change, an alteration.
Yes, the act of making a change, or the change itself. It often implies an alteration, an adjustment, maybe an improvement. Think genetic modification, car modifications, modifications to a plan. It almost always suggests a deliberate, intentional change, not something accidental.
And module. A self-contained unit, part of something bigger.
Precisely. A module is a self-contained unit or component that's part of a larger system, like learning modules in an online course, or modules in software design, or parts of a spacecraft. It's all about breaking complex things down into manageable, standardized, often interchangeable pieces. Makes things easier to build, understand, maybe swap out.
Okay, that brings us to our final set for today. Progression, systems, and principles. Let's start with momentum, physics term, but used figuratively all the time.
We do use it figuratively a lot. In physics, yeah, it's about the quantity of motion, the force or energy of movement. Figuratively, it's that force or speed driving something forward, a campaign, a team's performance, a project's progress.
So, gaining or losing momentum.
Exactly. Gaining momentum means picking up speed, accelerating forward. Losing momentum means slowing down, losing that drive. It really captures the impetus, the force that keeps something moving ahead.
Monk. Very specific religious figure.
Yes, a man belonging to a religious order, living in a monastery, usually under vows poverty, chastity, obedience dedicated to a spiritual life. Very specific religious context with a long history behind it.
Monopoly. When one company controls everything, often seen as bad for competition, right? Like the board game.
Correct. In economics, a monopoly is that exclusive control over the supply or trade in something, a commodity, a service, often viewed negatively because, yeah, it stifles competition, can lead to higher prices, maybe poorer service. And yes, the board game is a brilliant, if frustrating, simulation of exactly that.
Morality. Big topic. Principles of right and wrong.
Exactly. Morality refers to principles about the distinction between right and wrong, good and bad behavior. It covers a person's moral code or judging the morality of an action. It's deep philosophical, ethical territory, forms the bedrock of societal norms, individual conscience, really complex stuff.
Motive. The reason why someone does something.
That's motive is that reason, the intention behind an action. Why do they do it? It's crucial in law, obviously establishing a motive for a crime, but also just in understanding everyday human behavior. It's that underlying driving force, often hidden, that explains why someone makes a particular choice or takes an action.
Municipal. All about local government.
Yes, relating to a city or a town and its governing body. Think municipal elections, municipal services, libraries, parks, waste collection, or municipal bonds, which are used to fund local projects. It's firmly at that local government level, dealing with town or city administration.
And our very last M word for this deep dive.
Mutual.
Mutual. It means shared or reciprocal, held in common by two or more people or groups, or done or felt by each towards the other. Like mutual respect.
Exactly. Mutual respect and mutual agreement, mutual understanding, mutual benefit. It always implies sharing, reciprocity, a two-way street. That sense of shared experience or common interest, essential for good relationships, cooperation.
Wow. Okay. That was an incredible deep dive into the letter M. We really covered some ground there, everything from, the impersonal machinery of bureaucracy all the way to the very personal motive behind an action.
Oh, it certainly did.
This has definitely expanded our lexical toolkit, and hopefully it's given you listening a much greater appreciation for the often hidden subtleties in advanced English vocabulary.
It really has been comprehensive. I think the key takeaway for you, our listener, is the importance of not just, recognizing these words, but actively integrating them. Try using them in your own communication speaking, writing. That's how you add clarity, nuance, sophistication.
Yeah. Practice really is key.
As always, practice makes perfect. Maybe try using, say, 3 of these new M words in conversation or an email this week. See how it feels.
That's a good challenge. And here's a final thought to maybe mull over. As you move forward, how might really understanding these nuanced M words actually change the way you interpret the world around you? Or even how you express your own thoughts?
Interesting question.
Perhaps you'll be more attuned to, say, misleading information, or the magnitude of the global issue, or maybe even the momentum of a social movement.
It definitely sharpens your perception. And if you found this deep dive helpful, please do engage with the show. Let us know. We always appreciate hearing from you and finding out how these insights are helping you navigate your world.